All right, this week's digital art making option is to create a pattern using a free website that is called patterninja.com. So if you look at the spelling, it just says pattern, but then the N at the end of pattern is also the N to begin spelling the word ninja. So just be aware of the spelling of that website. So when you get to the website, you can get rid of the screen that asks you to watch the tutorial. This is going to show you how to use the website. So what you're going to want to do to begin with is you're going to want to create a new layer or a new pattern. So this first icon, the paper with the plus sign, click on that and it's going to clear your screen. And then you're ready to go in order down the taskbar. So the next option is going to have you pick a background color. So you can slide this rainbow bar and see that it's going to change colors. You can pick whatever color you want to work with. So maybe we do a blue. If you click inside the big square and then drag the color bar, you can see how it's going to change on your screen also. And then just be aware that the left side is where you're going to see tints and tones of the color. So white mixed with the color or gray mixed with the color. The bottom is where you're going to see shades of the color, so your darker versions. But if you stay in the top right corner, that's going to be more your pure hue color. So this is just a place to start. You can change the color later on if you decide you want to. Then you can click on the shape icon, and these are all preloaded shapes that the website gives you to work with. So this week is a nature theme and working with patterns. So Earth Day is actually Wednesday of this week. So maybe you choose to work with icons that have to do with nature and representing the earth. So you can see all these different options. So maybe I choose to work with a flower to begin with. So when I click on the icon here, it's going to populate the pattern. You can click and drag and move that pattern around. You can also shrink or grow the pattern. So if you click on one item, you're going to see this circle appear, and this is where you get the crossbars and you can shrink or you can grow the pattern. You could also rotate the design. Now it's not going to really make a difference on this one, but just know that that's an option. So then the next box down is layers. So you can see that right now you have one image. If you want to add a second image, go back to the shape icon and then build in your next image. So maybe I'm going to do a flower with a piece of fruit. So maybe I work with the strawberries. So I could leave it like that, or I could click and drag the strawberries and move it around. Maybe I want those strawberries to be smaller, so I can fit them in between those flowers. And then you can also zoom in and zoom out with your mouse button. Okay, so now when I go to my layer window, you can see I have two layers, and maybe I add a third image. Maybe because we're representing Indiana, we're going to throw in some snow right now because it actually had a little bit of sleet today when I was making this tutorial, even though it's April. So here's another option when you're in your layers. Whatever layers at the top is what's in the front of the image. Whatever layers at the bottom is in the background. So if I want my snowflake to go behind, I need to move that down a row. So I can click and drag. You'll see a light gray bar appear, and that's how you know it's about to move. So now when I click and drag this, it's going to stay behind my other images. So maybe I want to go back to my flower layer and grow that to fill up some of that space. Okay, so the cool thing is you can also change all the colors of these designs. So right now the flower was white. So in my layer image, I'm on the flower layer itself, although I wanted that to stay in front. There we go. Okay, so I'm on the flower image. If I go back to my paint palette, I can decide what color I want to make it. So maybe I want my flower, although now it's showing it's my snowflake. Either way, it'll work. So maybe I want my snowflakes to be pink, or maybe I want them to be a blue color. Then I can go back and click on the flower, click on the paint bucket, and I maybe want an orangish flower. If the drawing has lots of details, like the strawberry has details, when I click on the specific line, so right here, I can click on the red part of the leaf and make that outline its own color. So maybe the leaf becomes dark green, and then maybe the body of my strawberry is light pink. Maybe the outline of my strawberry is the dark red, and I can maybe try to click on these outlines of this leaf and get that to be a different greenish color. If I decide that I like the look of this, then I can be finished, or I can go back and keep editing the color options there. So when I'm finished, you've got some options. If you want to save this, you can click on the download pattern function, but really what it's going to do is it's only going to save a small square of it. For some reason, it's not going to save the whole screen. You could do the save function. You would just need to sign in to make an account to be able to save it. Or if you're on a device where you can take a screenshot, I would just screenshot it. Maybe zoom out so you can see more of the pattern, and then do a screenshot to save it, or just get a camera, maybe your cell phone, and take a picture of your screen to document what you made. We would love to see the patterns that you make. You can upload those on Instagram with the hashtag BCSC Create, or you could tag your art teacher in it, or send a picture of it to your art teacher through the Remind app. So have fun. Can't wait to see the patterns that you create.